Now we are going to finish the sales cycle with closing. So far we have covered prospecting, the art of finding the customer most likely to buy in the moment. Qualifying, the art of revealing direction. Presenting, the art of building value. Objections, the art of overcoming objections. And finally, closing, the art of relieving pressure. Some of you may have heard the term always be closing. If we look at the sales cycle as a clock and prospecting being the first hand, and then we go to qualifying, and then we move into presenting, and then objections, and finally closing. The clock in a sales cycle moves in both directions. And if we look at closing as the final step, it may also be looked at as the first step. Closing is the art of relieving pressure. And what that means is that you should always be relieving the pressure from the customer. They should never feel an intense feeling or have butterflies or feel like they're being pushed into an uncomfortable sales situation. That is not true sales, and that's not what we represent as a company. From the very approach of the door and your presentation and how you communicate to people, your objective should be to calm the pressure down, to make them feel like they're not trying to sell them anything today, that there's no rush, and that you're there to listen to them and understand them. To naturally relieve pressure from someone, you have to listen and ask questions. Again, not make them feel cornered. Relieving pressure is something that you can feel yourself. As you go into this career, you will start to feel butterflies and tingly feelings, almost like stage fright, as you approach doors for the first time. You can imagine this in anything that makes you feel nervous. That is a pressure feeling, and your job is to relieve that pressure from customers so they can feel open, so that they feel that you are being honest, that you have legitimacy, and that they can communicate openly with you and they're not being pressured into a situation. So remember, closing is the art of relieving pressure. And at all times, from the very first approach, the moment the customer opens the door, your objective is to lower pressure, to relieve pressure, to make people feel comfortable with you and the company and the process of going solar.